Ever wondered where the rudest people in America live? Stay tuned as we count down the top 10 rudest states in America. Hey there everyone! Welcome back to our channel. Today, we've got a juicy topic for you that's sure to stir up some feelings. We're counting down the top 10 rudest states in America. We're diving into the states where people might not always be the friendliest. So grab your popcorn, sit back, and let's get into it. Kicking off our list at number 10, we've got Massachusetts. Now, I know what you're thinking. Massachusetts? Home of Harvard, clam chowder, and those charming Boston accents? They can't be that rude. And you know what? You're not entirely wrong. Massachusetts folks are often just wicked direct. They're not trying to offend you, they're just trying to get things done. Think of it like this. They're the friend who tells you your new haircut isn't working. They're not being mean, they're just being honest, right? Plus you gotta factor in the weather. Months of brutal winters can do things to a person's sunny disposition. But hey, let's not forget about those legendary Boston drivers. They're aggressive, they're impatient, and they'll cut you off faster than you can say Fenway Park. Maybe it's the traffic, maybe it's the Red Sox constantly breaking their hearts, or maybe they just really love their Dunkin' Donuts coffee. Whatever the reason, driving in Boston is not for the faint of heart. So yeah, Massachusetts might have its share of quirks, but hey, that's what makes it interesting, right? Just don't expect them to sugarcoat anything. They're all about keeping it real, even if it stings a little. Moving on to number 9, we've got Connecticut, the nutmeg state. Connecticut is a bit of a mixed bag. On the one hand, you've got those picturesque towns with their charming colonial architecture and stunning fall foliage. Think Gilmore Girls, but with maybe a little less whimsy. But on the other hand, you've got that commuter stress, especially in the areas around New York City. People are always in a hurry, and they don't have time for your nonsense. And then there's the whole wealth factor. Connecticut has some seriously affluent suburbs, and let's just say that money doesn't always buy manners. You might encounter a certain air of superiority, a kind of, I'm from Connecticut, therefore I'm better than you vibe. But hey, let's not paint the entire state with the same brush. There are plenty of down-to-earth friendly people in Connecticut too. Just remember, if you find yourself lost on some winding country road, don't expect a stranger to stop and help you out. They're probably too busy worrying about their property values and whether or not their hedge fund manager is happy with them. Next up at number 8, we've got New Jersey, the Garden State. New Jersey often gets a bad rap, and maybe some of it is deserved. Let's be real, those turnpike tolls can test the patience of a saint. And the traffic? Don't even get me started. But beneath that tough exterior, you'll find a state with a whole lot of heart. New Jerseyans are known for their straight-talking, no-nonsense attitude. They tell it like it is, and they don't have time for BS. They're also fiercely loyal to their state, even if they'll never admit it. They'll defend their Taylor ham, or is it pork roll, to the death, and they'll never let you forget that Bruce Springsteen is their native son. Plus, you can't talk about New Jersey without mentioning the food. From classic diners serving up greasy spoons to world-class Italian restaurants, New Jersey's culinary scene is as diverse as its population. Just make sure you bring cash, because some of those old-school spots still don't take credit cards. And let's not forget the iconic Jersey Shore, a place that truly captures the spirit of the state. Coming in hot at number 7, it's Nevada, the Silver State, where fortunes are won and lost on a daily basis. Now, Nevada's a bit of a wild card. On the one hand, you've got the glitz and glamour of Las Vegas, a city that never sleeps and where anything goes. But on the other hand, you've got vast stretches of desert, where the heat can fry your brain and make you see things that aren't really there. Let's talk about Vegas. It's a melting pot of cultures, a 24/7 party where the drinks flow freely and the stakes are always high. But that constant influx of tourists can take its toll on even the most patient of locals. Dealing with drunk bachelorette parties and overexcited gamblers day in and day out can wear a person down. And let's not forget about the service industry, the backbone of Vegas's economy. Those folks work their tails off, often for little pay and even less appreciation. So yeah, maybe they're not always in the mood to flash a fake smile and pretend like you're the most important person in the world. Can you blame them? Rolling in at number 6, we've got New York, the city that never sleeps. Now, New York is in a league of its own. It's a concrete jungle where dreams are made of, but also where patience goes to die. The pace of life here is relentless, the crowds are overwhelming, and everyone's always in a hurry to get somewhere. New Yorkers are known for their directness, their bluntness, and their ability to cut through the BS. They'll tell you what they think, whether you want to hear it or not. And if you're blocking the sidewalk taking a selfie, be prepared to get shoved out of the way. But beneath that gruff exterior, there's a certain charm to New Yorkers. They're resilient, they're resourceful, and they've got a dark sense of humor that gets them through the tough times. Plus, you can't deny the energy of this city. It's electric, it's contagious, and it's impossible not to get swept up in it. Just don't expect anyone to hold your hand while you're here. You gotta sink or swim in New York City. Halfway through at number 5, we've got California, the Golden State, the land of sunshine, beaches, and Hollywood dreams. Now, California might seem like a paradise on the surface, but scratch beneath that sunny veneer and you might find something a little less idyllic. Let's be real. The traffic in California, especially in Los Angeles, is enough to make even the most zen person lose their cool. And the cost of living? Don't even get me started. It's no wonder people are a little on edge. And then there's the whole self-centeredness thing. California, especially Los Angeles, is known for its focus on appearances, on being on brand, and on chasing the next big thing. That kind of mindset can lead to a certain lack of awareness, a kind of "it's all about me" attitude that can be pretty off-putting. So, while the Golden State shines bright, it has its shadows too. Coming in at number 4, we have Florida, the Sunshine State, home to Disney World, beaches that go on forever, and more retirees than you can shake a stick at. Now, Florida is a wild ride. It's a place where alligators roam free, where you can wear shorts in December, and where the nightlife never seems to end. But it's also a place with a certain intensity. Let's talk about Miami for a second. Miami is a melting pot of cultures, a place where Latin rhythms fill the air and the beach is always calling. But it's also a city that's seen its fair share of boom and bust cycles, and that can create a certain level of hustle, a kind of "I gotta get mine" mentality. Plus, the heat and humidity in Florida can be brutal. It's the kind of weather that can make you feel like you're melting from the inside out. And then there's the whole tourism thing. Florida is a major tourist destination, which means that locals are constantly bombarded with out-of-towners who are often clueless about the local customs and way of life. Can you blame them for being a little short-tempered sometimes? Next up at number 3, we have Texas, the Lone Star State, where everything's bigger, including the hair, the trucks, and yes, sometimes even the attitudes. Now, Texas is a state that prides itself on its independence, its hospitality, and its can-do spirit. Texans are known for their directness, their love of all things BBQ, and their unwavering belief that Texas is the best state in the union. They're not afraid to speak their minds, and they're not afraid to tell you how it is. But beneath that tough exterior, you'll find a lot of warmth and generosity. Texans are always willing to lend a helping hand, especially if you're a fellow Texan. Just don't mess with their barbecue. Seriously, it's a sacred thing in Texas. At number 2, we've got Illinois, the Prairie State, home to Chicago, the Windy City, and a whole lot of farmland. Now, Illinois is a state of contrasts. You've got the bustling metropolis of Chicago, a center of culture, commerce, and deep dish pizza. And then, you've got vast stretches of cornfields, where the pace of life is a little slower and the air is a little fresher. But let's talk about Chicago for a minute. Chicago is a city that's known for its grit, its determination, and its ability to survive even the harshest of winters. It's a city that's built on hard work and a no-nonsense attitude. Chicagoans are known for their straightforwardness, their love of their city, and their unwavering belief that Chicago-style pizza is the only true pizza. But all that hustle and bustle can take its toll. The winters are brutal, the traffic is legendary, and the cost of living is no joke. So yeah, maybe people aren't always in the mood to chat about the weather or offer you directions. They've got places to be and things to do. And that, my friends, is why Illinois ranks so high on our list. And finally, the number 1 rudest state in America is Rhode Island. I know, you're surprised. It's tiny. How can such a small state have such big attitudes? Well, let me tell you. First of all, Rhode Island is crazy expensive. Like, really expensive. The cost of living is sky high, which means everyone's stressed about money. And when people are stressed about money, they tend to be a little on edge. Plus, Rhode Island is a small state. Like, really small. It's actually the smallest state in the US. And when you're living in such close quarters with everyone else, you're bound to get on each other's nerves. It's like being stuck in a car with your family for a really long road trip. But hey, Rhode Island isn't all bad. They've got beautiful beaches, amazing seafood, and a rich history. Just maybe don't expect them to be super friendly about it. They've got a reputation to uphold. And there you have it, the top 10 rudest states in America. From the bustling streets of New York City to the sunny beaches of Miami, we've traveled across the country to bring you the inside scoop on where people are just a little rougher around the edges. But hey, remember, this is all in good fun. Every state has its own unique personality, its own quirks and charms. Agree? Or disagree? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Curious why people avoid Montana? Check out our video on the 7 reasons why nobody lives in Montana. Thanks for watching and stay awesome.